Welcome to the first section of this course. This section of the course looks at the nature of economics, and introduces a few basic concepts and classifications. These help to provide some structure around the subject of economics. In this video, we are going to begin by introducing the problem of scarcity. We will then move on to the key economic questions that arise as a result. So what is economics about? Economics is essentially about the problem of scarcity. The problem of scarcity arises when there are finite resources and infinite wants. Finite resources refers to the fact that the world only has a limited amount of resources. For example, there is only so much land in the world. Even if it might seem like a lot, its quality varies. This limits the amount available for the purpose we wish to use it for, whether that is for living, or for farming, or any other suitable use. Infinite wants refers to the fact that essentially our wants are unlimited. For example, if I asked you if you wanted more money, would you say yes? Whether you wanted it for yourself or to help others, you would almost certainly say yes. If we were to ask everybody in the world this question, they would probably say yes. The reasons may vary, whether it is for buying some food, the latest mobile phone, tickets for a football game, or even a house. Or perhaps even all of these together. So scarcity arises when we have finite resources and infinite wants. How else might we think of these two ideas? Another way is to think of production and consumption. Production is the process of turning the limited resources we have into goods and services. Consumption takes place when we use these goods and services. So scarcity can also be expressed as the problem that arises when we want to consume so much, but can only produce a limited amount. Now that we understand this problem, how do we start thinking about it? Well, there are normally three sub-questions that arise. What to produce? This is about deciding which goods and services should be made with the resources available. How to produce? This is concerned with finding the most efficient way of using the resources available. For whom to produce? This is about allocating the goods and services amongst consumers. These are the three basic economic questions. Let's take a look at a simple example of how these questions may arise in the real world. Let's assume we live in a small, simple village economy. This economy will also face the issue of finite resources and infinite wants. How does this manifest? From a finite resources perspective, there may only be so much land on which to grow wheat, only so many chickens to produce eggs, and only so many cows to produce milk. There may only be so many able and willing farmers, and limited machinery in the form of tractors. What about infinite wants? Well, the villagers here are an imaginative people. If you ask them what they want, they might start with food and talk about donuts, burgers, pizzas, and all sorts of food on a skewer. Don't get them started on what they may want for entertainment or furniture for the house. This village economy therefore has to think about what it wishes to produce. They may choose ingredients to suit everybody's food preferences, or perhaps they will choose to grow trees so that they can make furniture from wood, or more likely some combination of the two. How will it produce the goods it wishes to make? The village will look to determine how it can be efficient in producing wheat, milk, and meat for food, and wood for furniture. For whom to produce? The farm can only produce so much, so it will have to find a way of allocating what they produce, across all of the people in the village, if it cannot produce an equal amount for all. You might have some ideas about how to answer these questions and may find it interesting to compare your ideas with those of eminent economists. We will soon learn about how economic thought has developed over time. Let's recap. At this stage we should be clear in our heads that the fundamental economic problem is of scarcity. This arises when we have finite resources that limit how much we can produce, yet we have infinite wants, meaning we want to consume so much. This leads to three economic questions of what, how, and for whom to produce.